Cynthia was sitting by the window and watching the snowflakes swirling beautifully outside. Why have I just moved here? Why did I listen to Andrew? She thought sadly. She met Andrew while living in Chicago. When they began a serious relationship, the guy offered her to live together and persuaded her to move to his hometown in Illinois. The young people got married, and at first Cynthia liked everything. However, after a few months, their relationship cooled. It was very difficult to find a job, so the girl got a position of a seller in a small supermarket. Her boss immediately began to show signs of attention to her. The girl clearly told him her position, but the man continued to pester her. Cynthia knew that she should have quit, but she didn't want to be a burden to her husband, who was a manager in a small firm with little income. Soon the girl started to notice that Andrew began to return home late, and he often smelled of women's perfume. However, the guy denied that he had any affairs. He also began to return home drunk. Once, right from the doorway, he told Cynthia that he was leaving her for another woman. The girl cried all night, and the next morning she sat at the window and started wondering what to do next. She knew that her husband's mistress was the head of the department where he worked. She had money, a car, so it was difficult to compete with her. While Cynthia was thinking about what to do, one man on the street caught her attention. He was dressed in a light jacket and canvas sneakers. Given that it was snowing outside, he moved his legs and tried his best to keep warm. He looked like a homeless man who was on the street at the most inopportune moment. Cynthia took pity on the old man. She put on her coat and ran to the opposite side of the street. "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing here alone in this weather?" she asked. "Ma'am, I'm waiting for my son. He has to come and pick me up," the man replied. "What son? What is he even talking about? He's probably out of his mind," she thought. She took him by the arm and literally dragged him home. There, she seated the old man in an armchair by the fireplace and poured some hot tea. She also gave the man Andrew's clothes so he could change. "Thank you, ma'am. All the people were passing me by and no one offered to help," the old man said with tears in his eyes. He said his name was Patrick Stewart. His son had to pick him up from here, as they were planning to go to Chicago together. He was probably delayed due to the weather. The old man stayed with Cynthia until noon and then decided to go back to the street as he was afraid to miss his son's arrival. The girl doubted that he would be able to come in such weather, but as soon as the man left the house, a huge Jeep stopped next to him. Mr. Stewart took another look at the house where he had been helped and got into the car. The girl was happy that she could help the old man. She was about to return to her sad thoughts, but then she saw a black car pull up outside her house. A woman stepped out and rang the doorbell. Cynthia could not believe it. It was her friend from Chicago. After listening to Cynthia's story, Margaret said, "What are you still doing here? You need to go back to Chicago. I have bought a small house so you can stay with me." Cynthia was happy. She ran to pack her things. In a few hours, they reached Chicago. The next day, the girl began to look for a job because she did not want to be a burden to her friend. However, it turned out to be rather difficult. One day, when the girl was calling potential employers, there was a knock on the door. It was the courier who brought her the letter. It said that a bank account was opened in the name of the girl, where a six-figure amount of money was transferred. Such a gift was made by Michael Stewart, the son of Mr. Stewart, whom she had helped on that frosty day. The girl was in seventh heaven with happiness. She never expected to receive such gratitude for her deed. She bought a beautiful house and also invested money in Margaret's business to help her friend.